Hey everybody, Dutch Sense here. It is 5:28 p.m. Central Time on October 11th, 2011, Tuesday. And we're looking at Texas, Oklahoma, Arkansas, Kansas, southern Missouri, Nebraska, and even going up into South Dakota now. We're starting to see strong cells, and that's marked in green. Blue is hail detected. So we're seeing hail getting detected already, and I want to show you the spots that are getting hit. In between Midland, Texas, and Amarillo, and then east at directly over Fort Smith, Arkansas. Also southern Missouri, going up towards Springfield, Kansas City. Also looks like we have Red Cloud, Nebraska. Let me get Red Cloud. Here's Red Cloud. Has a hail cell right over it. And let's see, do we have any others? And as you go north into South Dakota, but it hasn't broken out into severe yet. And this is just the start of it. Watch it over the next few hours into tomorrow. I don't know if it'll fully flare up, but this is a confirmation to me. Go compare this to the areas in Texas, Oklahoma, Fort Smith, Arkansas, southern Missouri, Kansas, right up into Nebraska. Go look at those areas that were receiving HAARP rings, and these are the areas now that are getting hit with hail detected, strong cells. Okay, and I'm looking for any other outbreaks that we were looking for. Ah, yes. Tennessee. We were looking over Knoxville. Nashville to Knoxville is the area we were looking for severe weather to hit. And you can go compare that to the original video, which is linked down below, by the way. And you can see the strong cell outbreak is occurring right in between those two areas. All right, hang in there, folks. Much love. If you see anything else, let me know. Hey everybody, Dutch Sense here. It is 11:29 p.m. Central Time on Monday, October 10th, 2011. And we're looking at IntelliCast here. I've got the continental U.S. radar view turned on, and you can see out of Oklahoma City, there's a giant flash radar ring that appears, and it flashes on for about 3 panels and then flashes off. So I'll pause it there really quick. We'll take it back a panel, and you can see also out of San Antonio, there are concentric rings, but not as fully developed as the very intense ring that's coming out of Oklahoma City. Now you'll notice it's cut off here with a flat edge. Now we can zoom in here, and you'll actually see this is overlaid with a square. This is a square edge, or a rectangle if you want to look at it a certain way, and that's on top of or inside of the concentric rings. Now we're looking down a cone to a ground-based station, and I will be basically discussing this a little bit more in depth. I think I have figured out kind of what we're looking at here, but first let me show it to you on a few other stations, and then we'll go explain what it is, or what I think it is. Here we are on AccuWeather Professional, and this is the last 4 hours by 5 minutes, and you can see the flare-up that's occurring. And it goes from San Antonio right up through central Texas, through Oklahoma, up through Kansas, Wichita, Manhattan, Kansas, Omaha, Nebraska, and let's see if we have any more. We also have one out of South Dakota up here, 2 out of South Dakota. So this area right in here, we're going to have to watch for the next 24 to 48 hours for severe weather to hit the epicenters of each of these rings. So if you want to, take a screenshot, and I'll do several screenshots myself. I'll put them on the blog, and you can keep track of each of these towns, see which get hit. Now I brought up a few other views here. Here's Oklahoma, where the giant ring is coming out of. and you see it flash on here. There we go. And then there's a few others occurring throughout Oklahoma as well, and it looks like also up in southern Missouri out of Springfield, just northeast of Joplin. And here we are on College of DuPage. I'm going to go ahead and turn the NexRad loop on. This is for Oklahoma, the central Oklahoma NexRad site. And you'll see it flash from red and pink down to blue, or vice versa. At one point it was blue, it flashed up to red, and now it's flashed back down to blue. And that flash, the flash radar, is what's showing up here. As it flashes up into red, it appears, and then it goes back down into blue, and it disappears. Okay, now let me pause it up really quick, and I'll go give you a short description of what I think we're seeing, especially with the square at the center of certain rings here. Also, in the time that I've been talking, you can see this other very intense flash radar ring come out of Fort Smith, Arkansas. So let's just wait for it here. And we're going to pause it first here, and the square edge that's here inside of the ring. Now let's play it forward a little bit. Okay, it's the last panel, so let me just take it forward here really quick. It wants to skip over. There we go. Now, see this sawtooth pattern here? Alright, these are actually rectangular patterns that are appearing on top of or inside of this HAARP ring. And I do call it HAARP ring. It's a term that I've placed on it. It could easily be called frequency ring or a radar ring, but HAARP is a facility that's designed to manipulate the upper atmosphere and ionosphere, so I do feel that it's a good description. Now, I said I was going to try and explain what the squares are inside of the rings, so let me get right to that. I have to pause it really quick and open something. Okay, so we're over here on my main Dutch Sense YouTube page, and I put a link and a bulletin out about this. But I have a link here, and it's for the AMISR, which stands for Incoherent Scatter Radar. And I'll open up the PDF here, and it's going to take a minute for it to download. It's 8 megs. But what I think we're seeing is incoherent scatter radar facilities that are projecting up a square shape up into the atmosphere to observe the upper ionosphere. And you'll see this as soon as it opens. Sorry it's taken so long, but it downloads directly from this EDU site. Okay, we're at 86%. Now this is graphic heavy. This is very graphic intensive, this PDF here. But it will explain, I think, a little bit better than I ever could. Okay, here's a shot of one of the incoherent scatter radar facilities. And they're managed by the National Science Foundation. Now they have descriptions of the different magnetosphere right down to the troposphere, the different layers. You can also see a breakdown of what they say the Earth's magnetic environment is like. And what I want to do is take you all the way down to page number 23. Okay, and they have the actual parts list. So they have the antenna element unit, solid state power amplifier, and then they have their panel here. And then they have their panel support structures, and you can, I assume, attach as many panels as you need, depending on the size of the facility. But what really caught my eye was this here, the description of what it does. Now, it projects up from the ground, and it projects, well, at least 3 points that go up and scan, I suppose, in a square fashion. Okay, so I'm going to have to pull a lot more information on the AMISR, but to me it looks like when you jump back over to here, you see the sawtooth pattern. This could easily be the edge of one of these arrays. So it's just something to consider and to take a look at. There's several other diagrams inside here that are worth looking at. It's a really interesting article, and you can see here, see how they have it built. There's one edge here. Okay, so hang in there, folks. I'll put a link to this PDF down below, and also to all these radars, so you can go watch the situation yourself and keep track of these areas for the next 24 to 48 hours that are inside of each of these rings. Cheers, folks.